how all fear fades away. First, we need to know there's nothing to fear, including the idea of death, which is just an idea of the physical brain. Because we physically see these bodies die, we think the energy that animated the body, like if we don't know that that is eternal, we fear this idea of death. We are all immortal. We are the energy animating the body until we or a certain life experience gives way to us leaving our physical body. So with trust that everything happens for a reason in good time, there's nothing to fear. When energy outside of form visits us and moves things around the room, opens or closes a door, does whatever it does with the lights and the TV and whatnot, it's letting us know it's there. It just wants to remind us that we are still here after the physical body goes. And to be friends with it, welcome it. It may be energy that has lost its way in anger and fear itself. It may be energy holding a resentment so strong and being attached so strongly to the physical that their energy doesn't even know it can go anywhere in the cosmos. Until we let it know, we free the energy out of form in our homes, in our everything, through energy healing. We have white sage, perhaps, as a physical thing we burn as to assist us in the process. And we say, love and light is here. We love you. We love all. We are all one. Join us in the love that we share. Join us as one cosmic family with so much love to give. We are freely giving love. All is valued equally. These are the types of messages we share with that energy that is struggling outside of physical form. Because no matter where our energy is at, be it moving through form, out of form, or animating a physical form, it can be vibing on any frequency throughout eternal time, throughout eternity. The energy here speaking with you has not always vibed on a loving, pure love frequency. And still, they have moments where they're not always 100% of the time in this physical body vibing on a high frequency. And they know when they're outside of this physical body, they do naturally vibe higher because they're not contending with the physical brain that often thinks and feels the opposite of love, gets frustrated and impatient. And we see this in ourselves. Every humanoid, every human being on this planet sees it for themselves. When we put our being ahead of the human that we are being for a temporary moment, then it's more clear. When we put the human, the physical, ahead of our being, then things are not so clear. We get more frustrated and impatient. We rush with this idea, this thought in these physical brains that there's much to fear. We fear being late. We fear not having enough money. We fear not being good enough. We fear when we see something move across the room or a door open and close by itself. We fear that energy that we're not relating to. But once we relate to all energy as one, we see there's nothing to fear. Money is not needed. We are shifting away from the use of any currency as we have more sites of freely giving and freely sharing. More internet sites to connect us locally, like your local community, like buynothingproject.org, which we've mentioned before. And if your community doesn't already have such a group online or in person or both, where people can meet up and have free exchange, perhaps you and or your family and your neighborhood, you're the one or the small group that starts it. And then more and more people get involved, and then before you know it, the whole community is freely giving and sharing and trading goods and services. Like the time currency that's already started to happen on this planet. We're exchanging time. So then we see there's no fear of not having enough money because we don't need money. There's no fear of anything because we are all part of that thing, and that thing is a part of us, that we are all connected. We are all eternal life energy, having fun with these different physical forms. So we want to check out what it's like to be a spider or a fly for a moment. Or we want to check out what it's like to be a tree or an elephant or a radish for a moment. And we want to be a part of giving to the life that physically needs to eat certain things to sustain their physical life. The nature naturally gives, and humans are meant to naturally give as a part of nature. And we see now there's no need to eat meat anymore. We have evolved physically, physiologically, to be able to sustain healthy life on a vegetarian or vegan diet. And we respect those who still eat meat. We respect those who still hunt, especially when they hunt in the traditional native way, as they're connected more to the earth and give offerings and thanks to the earth. And they do not let any of the animal go to waste, as they gratefully say thank you. And when an animal crosses our path as a hunter, a respectful hunter, as we've described, or fisherman or woman, fisher person, we are so grateful to that animal. We're so grateful to the plants also that we eat, that they may grow to be a part of what nourishes us and keeps us warm. With the animals, nothing goes to waste. We respect individual physical differences, no matter what they are, because we each have our own ways of being, doing, and having a locally sustained life. Because now we know to be self-supporting and locally sustained, we are free. We are free from government. We are free from corporations, including big pharma. We're free from franchises. We're free from things being shipped all over the world. We're free from all shipping altogether. We're free from emissions. We're free from waste. We're free from all that packaging. We are freely healthy. We have free health care by eating healthy, local, organic foods, including the dairy and the eggs. And when we do hunt, it's that free wild game. And it's not that we're playing a game, so please do not misinterpret the words. With hunting, it's always respectful. With fishing, it's always respectful. And we only ever take what we need. We take just enough for our family, community. Nothing goes to waste. And we are so grateful to the whole of our creation for all that sustains us and supports us locally. And when we travel, wherever we are, we are supported locally. And we can bring goods back, but we do it personally, individually. So there's no more mass production and mass shipping of anything. There's no more Amazon. There's no more buying things online. There's no things produced outside of the local area. There's no things shipped on a mass level. It's all local. The internet supports communication around the world. Zoom is one of the awesome platforms for this. But let's look at other awesome platforms that are free. WhatsApp is free. There's Q video. Now, sites that advertise, they have the illusion that they're free sites. We may freely share and give on these sites. But the advertisements are unnecessary. And so even when we see ads and news popping up in our face on our devices, we ignore it. Ignore anything you did not ask for. So the same goes for, we intuitively feel we're not ready for a relationship with an intimate partner. So we ignore advances, sexual advances from others, until we intuitively feel we are ready to recognize a suitable intimate partner for us personally. So there's nothing to fear. There's no fear in getting into another abusive relationship or another codependent relationship. There's no fear of getting with someone who's not right for us because we're listening to our intuition. There's no fear of buying things we don't need or don't have the money for when we're ignoring the advertisements. There's no fear of falling into unhealthy habits again because we're ignoring the advertisements that are drawing us back to those unhealthy habits. There's no fear of what's happening in the world because we trust everything is working out for our highest good and everything happens for a reason. And we get away from that fear more as we ignore the fearful news popping up all over. And we get out of the habit of going to turn that news on and look it up. And we're sharing positive, healthy, happy news with each other. So we create more positive, healthy, happy news. The good news. There's Good News Network. There's lots of good news out there to look up for free. So when we're inclined to look up the news, let's look up good news and only focus on the good news. Ignore the fear-filled, negative, hateful news. Ignore the protesting, violent, ignorant news. To have a peaceful, silent rally with positive, kind, loving words on signs is helpful, and that's good news. To have a loud, violent, raging, yelling protest with negative things on the signs, and when the sign is written saying what it doesn't want, that's what we're going to get more of. So in our peaceful, silent rallies, peaceful, silent sit-ins, we write on the signs beautiful messages of what we want to see, what we want to have, what we intend to have. And we create more of that. As more of us awaken, more of us see that this is how we attract more of what we truly want into our life. It's by focusing on what we truly want. A sign that reads, "Love heals all." Messages written on the walls, painted in our artwork. When we doodle, are we doodling things we're afraid of? Or are we doodling things we know are possible? Are we drawing and creating more beauty and loving messages and beautiful images in our world for these physical eyes and these physical ears? Because that is what we need to do in order to get more of what we intend to truly be, do, and have. Please share below. How are you creating more of what you truly want to see and hear in this world? What are you focusing on? Are you focusing on all the others on social media and all the other good news that is also focused on sharing and creating more of what they too want to see and hear with their physical eyes and ears? Social media is a great asset when it's used for good, to feel good. When we see and hear what helps us feel good through the internet, through the research, through social media, then we get more of that in our personal life. And it expands to more and more and more of us sharing that good life together, creating more good news in each new moment, creating more love, generosity, creating more peace, creating more of what we all intend to have on the macro level and also on the micro personal level. Fearlessness. We are brave, we are courageous. We see how there is nothing to fear. Not even fear itself, because fear is just a creation of the physical brain in its reptilian and emotional, less evolved states. We have evolved beyond fear. We are evolving beyond fear. This person is still evolving beyond fear. This person can see it is 100% possible and it will be done where we all evolve beyond fear. It's inevitable. We are forever changing and evolving. We are forever learning and growing through our experiences in and through and outside of these physical forms. Before the Big Bang, we had no experience of physical form. We had not created any physical form yet. As a singularity of energy, before we started to interact with matter, since our Big Bang, any infinite space and time, eternal life energy now interacting with infinite space and time to create, to animate all these things, these physical things. The atoms, molecules, cells, everything we've created by interacting with matter. Now remembering that we all matter equally. We are all equally created. All life is equally created. And so we see the truth in that a small percentage of us, those who hold on to the majority of the physical wealth, they are aware of all this. The only difference is they have been using what we know and what we're sharing here. They've been using this knowledge and wisdom for their own benefit on a micro level. They join us, as all joins us on the macro level. We forgive. We all forgive. So there is no us versus them. We see the difference between excessive greed and a little bit of greed, but greed is still greed at any level. It is what it is, and it's grown to exist within all humanoids. These beliefs that are instilled in us. And there's many ways to clear beliefs and replace them with new, healthy beliefs. Happy, loving beliefs. We will include a list in the description below on a few different ways to change our belief systems. And we encourage you to share any other methods, practices, healing techniques of training the mind, changing our belief systems. What have you come across that has helped you?